rising, born to shine, grinding, even though I'm down, I made it now. Climbing, I am a queen, I hold the crown. Flying, living my dreams and holding it down. Born to shine. After everything that I've been through, said I could do it again, true. Putting in work each and every day. Now I'm a boss and I'm running things. Ain't come to play, I come to slay. Started from the bottom, now I'm changing the game. I'ma keep rising with a brand new day. And now it's born to shine.
Home of the Empire State Times Square Statue of Liberty. Home of hip-hop, fashion, culture, and creativity. Home of the rich residing in a penthouse with an overview of the city. Home of the poor, residents unknown praying for a possibility. Home of the influence, bad behavior, and negativity. Home of the women who are proud of their ethnicity. Home of the man irresistibly secure in his masculinity. Home of the 5 boroughs where you find versatility. Home of the people fighting every day for stability. Home of the streets where you find strength and agility. Home of the hunger and addicted which creates hostility.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Melody here. You are watching BARTV. We have my lovely, beautiful, amazing, newlywed host. Love in the building. Congratulations. The beautiful mermaid bride of 2019.
That's hard in 2019. You go, girl.
I'm so happy for her. I love her.
That's what's up.
And then we have Kim, GoodLook, Seabrook.
Yes.
She is a poet, mother,
motivational speaker,
mentor, host, writer. All that.
Mother,
anything that I
friend,
missed out?
Mother, lover, friend.
Mother, lover, friend. I like
you
that.
gotta keep that in. Mother, lover, friend. Yes.
Where you originally from?
From the Bronx, boogie down, all the way.
The X is in the house.
Yes.
No, I felt
You
that.
felt
I
it?
felt the Bronx energy 100%.
She's a Bronxite. She picks up on her people.
That's what's up.
I'm from Brooklyn, you know. So I want to thank you for coming here today.
Thank you for having me.
And so let's get into your poetry. How many years you been doing this?
I mean, I've been writing all my life, like, you know, from younger, but the first time I actually went on stage was probably like 13 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
How was the experience on that first time 13 years ago?
Oh, I was really nervous. My knees were knocking.
I could imagine.
The first poem I wrote was actually about an abusive relationship. It talked about abortions. It talked about getting through it. So it was really
something that you went through?
I went through. Yeah, it was a story. It was about my life, you know, a situation that I went through. So it was good. It was difficult, you know, because, you know, you got people who judge you for whatever you decide to do, you know what I mean? But then you got those people who understand and like, wow, you said what I went through and I was unable to speak it. So it was like dope. And then the guys was like, what? Who did that to you? Where they at? So it was like, it was a mixture. But the main thing is to be able to be that voice for the people who couldn't speak. And that's what kept me going.
Did you find that writing helped you get through a lot of things?
Poetry is my therapy.
Okay.
I say that all the time.
When did you discover that?
That poem that I wrote.
That was the first time. Okay, it wasn't something like
it was love at first sight.
Or like a
well, like I said, being younger, you know what I mean. But being younger, you wasn't thinking about therapy. You was thinking about the streets, and you was thinking about school, and you was thinking about boys. You know, writing.
Did you think when you wrote in that first poem 13 years ago? Did you see yourself with a future in it? Did you think it was gonna go further than just some therapeutic exercise?
I had no idea that I'd be sitting here right now or doing half the things that I did.
And how?
Yeah, how did it go from writing your thoughts on paper to performing?
Right.
Well, again, someone asked me to perform on stage, and I just decided, I'll never forget when I wrote the poem, like the sun was shining on me, and I had left that relationship, and I was feeling good. Still going through some things, you know what I mean, because you have to heal from all that stuff that you're going through. So, but the reward of getting through it was amazing. And then just continue to keep doing it. It's like, It's dope, man.
Okay, now when I ask you what was your breaking point, was there a point in your time as a poet,
Yeah,
artist,
yeah.
whatever you want to call it, where you said, this is it for me, this is going to work out for me, I could see myself doing this as a full-time career?
Absolutely. That poem, 13 years ago, I did that. You know what I mean? May have done a few things in between then. Then I moved to Atlanta and was doing things with, some artists who were actually in the building. We did studio, we did shows, wrote for a magazine. I wasn't really doing the poetry as much. That wasn't really the focus, but always was still doing writing and the music and the arts. And it wasn't until I came back up here from Atlanta and I started doing some shows, and I got fired from my job, which was like the best thing that ever happened to me.
Wow.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Fire me. Give me
Right.
that.
Exactly.
I mean, y'all say that, but it's a sacrifice.
I know,
you know
it's
what
a
I'm saying?
sacrifice. I say
that
that,
thing ends
but-
in 6 months, and if you don't have your together in 6 months,
You
then
do something else.
you still.
You got to figure it out.
I mean, I sacrificed a lot. I went from making $1,300 a week to $1,200 a month. You understand? Yeah.
Right.
So, car got repulled, all that good stuff.
How did you make it with that? How did you get through?
The strength, the persistence, the ability to believe in yourself, and the support from your friends and your family. I couldn't do it without that. Yeah.
And then it turns into like phenomenal poems.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Like, I'm really, really proud of my growth and where I came from and what I'm doing. And even if I start off, like, my poetry is always, like, even if it starts off negative, it's always going to end with a positive note.
Okay.
That's dope.
You know,
Super
'cause
dope.
it's all about hope. It's all about inspiring. It's all about motivating. And it's all about making sure that we just keep going, no matter what.
Right.
Right.
Do you do anything other than perform your poetry? Like, do you record it?
Yeah, I have a project out called Memory Lane. I also have 2 other singles that are out right now. One is called Justice for All. That was actually featured at New York Fashion Week.
Dope.
Then I have a children's song, but it's actually for adults too. It's called I'm Liddy. It's for a children's book called Listen to Liddy. And it's for Got Check Company, which is about breast cancer awareness and prevention and things like that. So
And how do you do that? How do you connect with these people
Right.
to do
you
these
keep
things?
grinding. You
Did
keep
you go to
grinding.
school for it?
No.
No.
I graduated high school.
That's it.
I graduated
And then
high
everything
school.
else is networking and working.
Working and grinding. Like I said, I sacrifice everything.
Is there
Yeah.
production to your poetry? So is it like a song?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
music, yeah.
Okay, so it's music.
So you go in the studio to record,
Yeah.
And
like
it's-
a rap or
It's, like,
singing.
it's a
artist.
real song. So is it like a rap that we
She's
do?
borderline rap.
That's
Let me tell you.
because I'm
she's
trying to get it out of her.
borderline.
Like, can we
Borderline.
say?
I know that artists can.
I feel her
and if they
swag.
haven't come to you yet
I can
for
see
your
it.
work to turn it into a song, it's
Yeah.
easily transferable
Yeah.
to a song.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But like I was saying before, it sets you aside because you're in the category of poetry, so you're gonna stand out in whatever you do, regardless. Because
Yeah.
most I noticed as I did my research, the event she's doing is with music artists in the music industry, and then it's like, okay, and then we have this pretty poet,
Right, right.
So let's
I want to
see
call
what
her
we're gonna
artist
put
because
this
I
right here.
hear that, like
Yeah.
that you are like.
It's funny. I have a 19-year-old son, and he's funny. He's like, "Yo, you get on stage, Ma, you look like, like you about to," and then you just like, "Ma, you just mine, Ma, you just need to
Right.
run, like spit it." And I'm
Yeah.
like, I do spit it, but in my own way.
Way.
So, but hip hop is my inspiration.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
people are like, "Who's your favorite poet?" GoodLook, Seabrook. I don't know. Look.
I was just
Right.
gonna
I'm not
say,
saying
was
like I don't
there
know
any
Nikki
poets?
Giovanni, and of course I know. You understand?
Yeah.
I know of, but hip hop is my inspiration.
Dope. I definitely feel it and I hear it.
So when you say that, okay, this is what makes it even more brilliant. Like you said, you know of poets and everything like that, but hip hop was your inspiration. So I could imagine that you wasn't, researching poetry, looking at poets or nothing. It was the hip hop
was
artists, the
hip-hop,
rappers,
yeah.
Songs.
you
I
know.
used to like if I hear a song, like let's say a guy, right? Like for instance, LL Cool J, Round Away Girl. I did Round Away Boy. You know what I'm saying? Like I would flip. That's where I started like years ago when I was like writing. I realized like, Oh, okay, I got some shit here.
I noticed that because the one I shared on Instagram was money, power, and respect.
Exactly.
She
So
turned that around.
I
Did you
turned
see
it-
that? She flipped that.
rock
If y'all
joint.
didn't see it, go on my Instagram. Go on her Instagram. Money, power, respect. She gave you a whole different outlook to it.
And
That
it's
was
funny, I
dope.
did that for kids. Shout out to Chip Fu from the Fushnikins. I work and write for work with the kids for his group, which is workshop. And so yeah, they had to beat the right to, and they was like, "Oh, that's Young M.A." And I was like, "No, that's not Young M.A."
Get it right.
Let me show you where this came from, kids. Money, power,
Right.
respect. And it's funny, so after they heard the first beat, all right, the assignment was next week to come and write something for that beat, right? So I came that next week, I was like, let me show y'all where it came from. And then I showed them what I wrote. And everybody's like, all right, I gotta write mine over. That was dope. That was
You
dope.
inspired them to
Yeah,
go harder.
I did, yeah.
Nice.
So, and to show them that, like, money, power, respect is not really what is looked up to be. There's so many other things that we could look up to, like, what is the money, power, respect? No, like, there's a lot of other things that we could find for respect. And the key to life, that's where I was trying to get to. The key to life is not just money, power, respect. It's a lot of things that we need in this world to live, and it's not just those three things.
Right. As you say that, let's get into your motivational speaking. How did you go? How did you break into that?
From poetry, like people were just inspired by the things that I say, especially from women's identity. And I had my first speaking engagement was in Jersey, all in front of a bunch of women, and I just broke down my life and
Grab the mic and
told them what I've been through, and and then I was trying to make sure like that they knew what they could get through, whatever they going through, and to always like speak highly of yourselves, and every day just say something positive about yourself. Forget about the negative, you know what I mean? Like there's something greater than all that negative stuff. Like people like, oh, they hate me. Nobody hate me. Everybody
Right.
loves me. Like I don't think about that word hate. Like what is that? Like
Right.
nah, I got too much love to even focus on that word hate. Y'all can worry about that.
That's very
Facts.
good.
Y'all can worry
I'm
about
gonna
that.
use that next time. I'm gonna stop it. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to
Nah,
work on
nobody
it.
Focus
hates
on
you
the positive.
because
See, she's inspiring me right now.
Right, exactly.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
How about the mentoring? I know you mentor, right?
I do. I mentor young adults with autism. Really, really dope. Actually, I came from mentoring this evening. He's a little older than me, and I cooked him dinner today, and he ate all his vegetables. I felt like a proud mom
good.
today. Like, because he always makes fun of me. You eat that rabbit food, and my mother cooks rabbit food for me, but I hooked him up today. He ate made 2 servings, and he ate the whole. I was like, all right.
Nice.
See, so yeah, but not just that, just speaking to them and I also do poetry and theater group with them as well. So do a lot of stuff.
But how did you get into that door? How did that happen?
I was in the welfare program, and they said I needed a couple of more hours. I'm dead serious. They said I needed a couple more hours
You got in.
so that I wouldn't have to deal with this work program, right? And I was like, because I was already doing some other stuff that had enough hours, I needed 4 more. And then I was like, if I'm going to do something, because I'm not going back to work for Bob, because, like I said, Bob, and that was his name, Bob.
Bob was his name that fired you?
Yes.
Qué pendejo sucio.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah. You blessed her though.
Yeah. And I was like, so I just started up looking mentoring, and then I found one where it was actually a girl who was an author and an artist and da-da-da, and I had to go there for, the interview. And it was a long process. I had to tell them I was a felon and all that good stuff. And yeah, but
Oh, okay.
they love me though. still,
Right.
They love us. Right. Shout out to the felons in the world. We love you.
That's
We
it.
all reformed here. Keep it a J. Not Tish. Tish is
No, but I'm
American
serious.
girl.
Like, listen, I couldn't get regular jobs with a felony. You understand
No,
what I'm
I
saying?
know.
So to get this, and it's not like I got to go in the office and I got to sit there. I'm out there in the field. I'm taking them here. I'm taking them there. I'm doing creative stuff with them. So this was just something else that just keeps me going and
That's
fulfills
big.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
I can't sit behind this.
I
Like
can't.
I'm
Right.
ready. I'm ready right here. Like look.
Right. How long do we got?
At least it's
How
not
much
closed
longer?
in. At least there's open space. But yeah. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Do you
No, I
feel
you.
like out of everything you do that you have a niche or a love for one over the other, or
I just
everything?
love my people.
Okay.
When I say my people, the community, the people who's struggling, people working to make things get better. That's just it.
Okay, so whenever it has to do with showing support and love,
And love.
you love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's super dope. What else do you have coming? Because I
What
feel
else do I
like
have
I
coming?
feel like you are trying to take over the world.
Right.
Like, what else are we
One step
doing
at a
here?
time.
I write for a magazine called Validated
Yes,
Magazine.
you see, I knew there was something else that I didn't mention.
I write
Yes.
for a magazine.
What do you write for them? Like,
I do interviews.
okay.
And I also I just got my own little blog section, my own little write-up section, which is like more important than the interviews. Like I've been doing interviews for a long time, but this gives me an opportunity to blast someone who's just like for instance, someone's in the audience who is a fashion designer. You understand what I'm saying? I can
Right.
tell about her work or her event,
You
and
have
this
the
what happened. I
freedom
have
to
the
put
freedom
what
to
you want out.
and it's not even just this ain't even about me. Like everybody's like, congratulations. It's not. This wasn't even about me. It's just the opportunity to give my other people's a shine.
Recognition
Yeah,
and shine.
Right.
exactly.
Dope. She could put like BARTV.
Right.
Basically,
Right. Put a little article there. Make sure you
Exactly.
tune in.
Right.
Right.
Facts.
TV, check us
But
out.
thank
yeah.
you for that. Exactly.
That's super, super dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
What else? I got a fashion show coming up that I'm gonna be performing for.
Right, alongside
Fred the
some
Godson
rep-
is hosting
Fred the
it.
Godson.
We Are the Brand is the clothing designers that I'm gonna actually be walking the runway too. So I'm glad I lost the size. I gotta keep talking about that.
It's gonna be
Look,
looking
it was
good.
7 to 5. I was like,
Exactly.
and I'm also writing something for their theme song for the
Okay.
runway, so that's dope. And I got a lot of things. I got a lot of things.
When you
So
host and do interviews, or you don't do no more on radio or
Well, it was just stopped for many reasons. But what was your question?
yeah. Are there any platforms that you're currently on?
Besides, no, but it will be. It
Right.
will be something coming up. So,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
make sure you follow her on Instagram and stay
Yeah.
tuned because she will be on other platforms coming up soon.
Yeah. We got two really good poems from her.
Yes, you
And
guys.
in the beginning, you said that one was inspired by you, women, of course. you
Actually,
being
when
a
I
woman.
wrote that, it was for my niece's cheerleading event.
Okay.
And she had put me up there because I was her inspiration. So one of her most influential people that they wanted, at the cheerleading event. Let me tell you, when I performed that, I cried the whole time.
Wow.
It took me like
understand why.
20
You had me
minutes to
checked
finish
up.
that. I'm not playing. Like, you see how
Right.
smooth I did? It was not like that the first day. It was so like, yeah.
Wow.
But yeah.
I could understand
So I
why.
did that.
I was like,
yeah, she had me like that.
yes.
But just for my nieces to look at me as an inspiration was really dope because I was like really screwed up at one point in my life, So I could have been something totally different.
Different.
How
And-
did you turn it around?
I have a 19-year-old son. I realized the things that I went through when I was younger, I didn't want to go through that anymore. Just a matter of growing up, I
Change
think.
of mindset.
Yeah. And again, poetry was definitely my therapy. That helped me out. So I can't be an inspiration to somebody else and I'm over here getting high and,
Not doing
cursing
what you would
everybody
inspire
out. So, I grew a lot. I'm really proud of myself.
And then the guy one. It's from personal people that you know personally, or just what you see, or what you feel like guys would.
That's just what
say?
it is.
Okay.
This is what it is. Come on, it's kind of messed up that us women could go and get help. We could get Section 8. We're good, because we got 3 kids, even 1 kid, whatever the case may be. Meanwhile, brother got 3 kids. You know what I'm saying? He has a felony. He can't get a job. He gets his license revoked. You know what I mean? But meanwhile, she's good. All she gotta do is sign up for this, and she got this and this and that. You know what I mean? But meanwhile, he don't do what he gotta do, and he goes to jail.
Yeah.
And he don't got a license, but then you can't get the work. So there's a problem here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I agree.
there's a
I
big
agree.
problem here.
Yeah.
And
My
it
brothers.
speaks so much of you to be able to put yourself in other people's shoes, not just.
Right.
I mean, it makes
She's-
sense with who you are and what you say is important to you that you can speak for other people so eloquently, and you did.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Put yourself all the way in a man's position.
Yep. Facts.
It was definitely good. Well, it was definitely a pleasure to have you here.
Absolutely.
Thank
Let
you.
them know your YouTube channel. Instagram,
Yes,
Facebook, everything.
Kim GoodLook Seabrook. That's SEAB as in boy ROK. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube. You can also download everything on, or what do you call that? Media. I don't know what you call that. Streams, you know.
The stream stuff.
iTunes,
iTunes, Spotify, all that
good stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Yes, thank
Tune
you.
in to Bar TV. We got some more brilliant and resilient people coming your way.
we
Yes,
do.
and they're actually all in the audience.
Right.
To the live audience.
Like, thank you for bringing your friends.
Thank you, Kim. You did amazing. And I will be in the audience, in her show, all that good stuff.
Facts, though, when you
Because
have
she's
a
got
show.
a whole lot more coming up.
I need y'all to come to the fashion show.
We will come.
Somebody's
I gotta
going
send
to
y'all the info
see
for the tickets.
what she has, because she's definitely sitting on. She's just a bag of value right here.
That's it.
Thank you.
Facts.
Stay tuned.
Yes, this is your girl Kim GoodLook Seabrook. I am a poet, motivational speaker, mentor, mother, lover, friend, all that good stuff. I'm going to start off with this one called Women's Identity. And like I said before, this is just to embrace our womanhood, everything that we go through on a daily basis, whether it's being a mother, a lover, or an artist. You know, sometimes we forget the importance of us being a woman. So I wrote this so that we can remember how important we are. All right? Women's identity. Sometimes it's hard for a woman to know her identity. Society makes it easy to become your own worst enemy. Feeling misguided and misled about your true destiny. Following the crowd instead of doing things differently. They expect us to act reckless and unprofessionally. They want us to be mad and filled with jealousy. Acting devilishly, desperately, and unethically. To make it in this world, you must be a celebrity. With a size 2 waist, living excessively and expensively. Not to accept yourself the way you're built genetically. How dare you walk with your head high respectfully? You're not supposed to know what it is to have integrity. They want us to be selfish instead of building collectively. Because sometimes it's hard for a woman to know her identity. But the power of a woman needs to be used effectively. Knowing your inner beauty and self-worth is a necessity. I know the peer pressure can sometimes weigh heavily. Banned from being who you are, you must change cosmetically. As it physically means more than acting intelligently. Not knowing the true you, who you are authentically. Instead, you act more pathetically, offensively, with obscenity. I'm not pointing the finger, so let me say this apologetically. But what if we use our beauty to change the world, just speaking hypothetically? We are queens, let your crown shine, present yourself elegantly. We are women, we create life. Use that power with intensity. Walk with grace, speak poetically, and attract others mentally. Because there's nothing prettier than a woman who can speak intellectually. Women, stay in your position in life because it changes unexpectedly. The world is yours, stay strong and claim your residency. Because sometimes it's hard for a woman to know her identity. Thank you. I want to dedicate that one to my sis who is in the building, Dirty Diana. She's worked hard and she's always been real from day one to now. So it's good to have her here in the building. So, yeah, I get a little emotional too. Although us being women, with everything that we have to do, we forget what our men go through, right? Absolutely. So we come home, we, bitch, and, you ain't do this, but, sometimes we tend to forget that our black men go through just as much as we go through, if not maybe a little bit difficult for them to manage and maintain and deal with society and deal with living everyday life. So I wrote this one coming from the male's perspective. It's called Got Damn. All right. I'm stressed. This world just seems to be a goddamn mess. Rent is $1,200, I make $10 an hour. Disconnection notice, I'm about to be without power. No heat in the house because I live in the slums. Digging in my pocket, I keep coming up with crumbs. Baby mama's taking me to court, but she gets Section 8. But if I can't afford to pay, I'll be an inmate with a roommate locked up somewhere upstate. I'm trying to increase my compensation. Trying to build a foundation. Trying to work on my creation. Because I'm tired of picking cotton on this goddamn plantation. Not being seen as a human, but more of an expectation. Not realizing the minority man has his limitations. I could take but so much stuff from you. I'll bite my tongue, do as you say, and not one time can you pat me on the back and say you did a great job today. Then I come home to nothing but complaints. She wants to debate when all I want is a goddamn plate. Did you ask me about my day and how I'm doing? Did you know I got pulled over by the cops because I'm black while moving? Because apparently I'm a threat is what I was told. The reality is I'm a king that was robbed of his riches and golds. Now I can't even walk down the street with a hoodie on my head to protect me from the cold. Scared I'm going to get gunned down because some folks are just too damn bold. Bold enough to take my life. Take me away from my kids and my goddamn wife. I don't have the same opportunities as Bob. They don't consider me and my skin good enough for promotions at my job. I'm just trying to feed my family, so sometimes I may have to come up with another hustle, whether selling CDs or selling some loosies. I'm a man, so I gotta put in that extra muscle. Does it mean that I don't want to live? Hell no. But what I'm asking is to be left alone. Left alone to survive, to strive, to stay alive with some goddamn dignity and some goddamn pride. Thank you. That's it. So that's it too. Thank you, Kim. GoodLook Seabrook. Follow me Instagram. That's how we do on the stage. Yeah, follow me GoodLook Seabrook Instagram. And that's it.
Grinding, grinding, grinding. I'ma keep grinding. Climbing, climbing, climbing. I'ma keep climbing. Rising, rising, rising. I'ma keep rising. Born to shine.